Hey everybody, another episode of the Fire Sprinkler Podcast here at the NFPA Convention in Boston, Massachusetts. Mike, how's it going today?
It's doing great today. Yeah.
How's the event so far?
The event's been awesome, right? We've had
Day
really good
three.
foot traffic. Yeah.
Day 3, it's good to see everybody back in person. I've been saying that at the beginning of everything. Everybody is sick of me saying it's good to be back in person, but it is. It feels really good to be back and seeing people and shaking hands and stuff like that.
I think people miss that face-to-face.
Absolutely.
No yeah.
Today was supposed to be the slow day, but it hasn't really been slow today.
Yeah.
It's been busy.
It's been good information. There's a lot of good stuff flowing, so we've had a steady flow of interested folks. Right?
Absolutely. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, your history with Viking?
Look, I'm a 30-year guy at Viking, 40 years in the business, so I've done a little bit of everything, but I'm not really good at anything, right?
Sure,
so,
I wouldn't say that. Come on, we're still here.
Yeah, I know. My current role is I run the supply net group, so we run all the distribution, fabrication in North America.
Right.
But in the past, I've gone all the way from product management to president of the manufacturing company to marketing roles, and kind of worked through the ranks, and now I'm probably working back down the ranks, right? But,
on your way out, or what?
Well, no, not really. But Viking's had a 40-year growth or a 30-year growth span here that's really kind of mirrored what the industry. You know, we like to think we're one of the premier suppliers that kind of emerged in the last 3 decades, and really focused a lot of our effort and revenue in developing products to make it easier for contractors. It's kind of nice. All we do is focus about water-based fire. Yeah. We don't have a lot of other interests, right? That's all we do. We're sprinkler nerds, right?
Well, Fire Sprinkler Podcast. I don't really get into any of the other stuff.
That's how you got in our booth. Otherwise,
that's it. Here I am. Yeah. So you were involved in the early development of the ESFR system. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so ESFR is a really interesting product in the fact that it was special in the 1980s. There's kind of a lineup there. Yeah. So Viking actually pioneered, I shouldn't say pioneered, Viking partnered with Factory Mutual in the 1980s to protect what they call a high challenge fire, which is basically high piled storage in a warehouse, right? Yep. Their clients, Factory Mutual's clients, did not want to have in-racks. They wanted to have protection and sealing. And the idea was really simple. Let's put a lot of water on it and put it out, right? At the end of the day, that's all we do. We always put a lot of water on it.
It's a good principle.
It really is, and it still works today.
Absolutely. Put the wet stuff on the hot stuff.
So that's what we did,
So what was that process with Factory Mutual?
So Factory Mutual ran full-scale testing, right? And they literally just recreated the storage scenario, right? We did fire tests, full-scale fire, which you tow to FM. That's all the videos we like to show, right? You show a 40-foot rack of cardboard being torched and see if you can put it out. So now those tests in the 80s, we used an upright head called a large drop. So some of your viewers may hear about it. It's still around.
Was that this one?
No, it looked like that. It was an upright because in the day we thought warehouses had to be uprights. That was just what you did. So it didn't collect water in the bottom. It kind of failed at that 30, 35 foot range. So large drop had its own market. And Factory Mutual kind of reset and started again by the 1990s, like early 90s, right? And then they brought in a company called Automatic Sprinkler. And a company called Tyco, which may know as JCI. You heard of those guys today? And Automatic Sprinkler and Tyco, and I think Viking ran it as well. And they reimagined that same protection only in a pendant. Because besides putting wet stuff on the hot stuff, they realized you had to have momentum in the water, right? And an upright, because you're reflecting the water, it just wasn't getting it when you're above 35 feet. Right. You just couldn't get to the base. So,
The other benefits of having it off the bottom is because it's such a large water droplet, you're not getting as much shadow as well, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? So large drop was the original marketing name. We thought that the big drop made its way through the fire plume into the heat and put it out. Right. That sort of kind of worked, but at 35 feet, by the time you dropped all the way down, the water drop would evaporate, right? So they flipped, and they went to a suppression mode. So hence the ESFR. You know, we're really marketing guys, right? So early suppression was the response of the element. So the elements were lightweight, the response was fast. And the suppression technology was to put water in the heat of the fire as quick as possible.
Absolutely.
And so they switched from the large drops to the penetration of just force, right? So pressure and water up and down.
Awesome. So this is the new ESFR that you guys have available now, dry.
That's the newest,
a dry pendant.
So that technology went through a whole learning curve in the 90s all the way to now. and the warehouse industry really embraced it because in racks were a real problem, not only in the U.S. we found, but around the world.
Right.
And as that became more widely used, the demand for larger K factors came, right?
Yeah.
And some demand for upright versions of it, right? So that's where they kind of evolved from what we call a K14, and they went all the way through a 17, they went through a 22, they went through a 25, right?
And you're getting into more plastics means more water, right?
Sometimes, yeah. So group 1 through 4 and group A plastics is kind of the commodity that's the norm.
Right.
When you get above that or open top, you kind of lose the ability to use the ESFR. But the 1 through 4 group A is almost 90% of your warehouses out there. But certainly your spec warehouses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about this new bad boy right here. It's a little piece of material.
This is an awesome head, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's a handful, right?
No kidding.
So actually, Viking invented this. So this is the 3rd generation. So that same concept of using this in a wet system in a warehouse, what we discovered was there's a really large market inside freezers and coolers.
Yeah.
And it's driven by a lot of, we didn't know how large that market was, to be honest. But our demand for fresh food and fresh groceries and stuff, it really drives the whole supply chain concept. So they want the same thing. They wanted in-roof protection as opposed to having in-racks. And of course, in a freezer, they had dry systems and you had double interlock and in-rack. Yeah. So this was a way to penetrate the roof and have the ESFR performance inside the cooled area.
Right.
The water stopped at the top.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is a newer product. How long ago did you guys launch this?
This just launched. So we shipped our first orders in the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a K25, so that gives you storage to 55 feet.
Right.
With no in-racks, inside a freezer or a cooler. Same performance as the wet version, but you can do it inside a freezer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
awesome. What do you got planned for the rest of the day?
Well, we got a vote on NFPA 25, so that's coming up. So the show is still going to last until I think 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I think 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and then tonight there's a meeting. We start the International Fire Suppression Association. That board meeting will start for tonight and tomorrow. Yep. And that's the group that puts sprinkler requirements, promotes them around the world. So
right.
That's kind of another thing that we support.
Awesome.
So
Mike,
this is the place to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Mike, nice talking to you.
All right,
thanks for talking. Alejandro, how's it going today?
Very good, my friend. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. It's good to see people in person. What do you think of the event so far?
I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, amazing show. A lot of people from Latin America, which is the area that I cover.
Right, yep.
So, I mean, it's been good. 3 days of nonstop for me.
How many, what would you say the percentage of people coming from Latin America up today?
Well, this year we have a lot of people. I mean, it's been 2 years on the pandemic that we haven't done the show. So guess what? All these people are free now.
And I mean, roaring to go, chomping at the bit to come. It's been swamped. They're talking about today being a little bit slower, but I mean, to be honest with you, it does not seem that way so far.
I don't think for me, man.
Yeah, I don't. I have to.
It's been 2 days busy.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about the areas you cover down Latin America. What does that entail as far as area of coverage?
Okay, well, first let me present myself. My name is Alejandro Garcia.
Sure, yeah.
I'm the sales director for the whole region, for the Latin America region, that covers from Mexico down to the Central America, the Caribbean, and South America as well. So pretty much from Mexico down to Buenos Aires.
Awesome.
That's a lot of territory.
Yeah, the Caribbean doesn't sound like a bad place to sell sprinkler.
No, it's not.
You need an assistant. You need somebody to carry your pen around for you. Oh, here you go.
I always need someone. I will always need someone.
That doesn't sound bad at all. So how many guys do you guys have down in that area? Is it just you, or do you got a couple?
No,
guys
I have 2 other guys. One covers Mexico, and the other one covers Central America and the Caribbean. And I take care of the rest, which is South America.
You spend a little more time in the Caribbean than you do anywhere else. Be honest.
No, not me.
No. Installing systems and selling like sprinkler in any material, as far as construction is concerned, has got to have its challenges in the Caribbean. What kind of logistic issues do you guys run into down there?
Logistics, pretty much. When it comes to the freight, because there's not many containers. There's the freights are all spike up, so that's the issue. So most of the time, the order stuff, when we get it ready, they have to ship it by plane.
Right.
Which is costly, but whatever needs to be done just to get the product down there.
And the stuff is primarily you guys are doing fab on site, so you send mechanical tees, coupling, stuff like that.
Yes, we send everything and they do it on site.
Okay, it'd be really cool to see an airplane prefab pipe coming off.
No, that would be funny. I will call you then.
I'm busy that day. Awesome. So it looks like there's starting to be a lot of people rolling in here. So we kind of wrap up. Is there anything else you want to make sure that we cover before we wrap things up?
No, just that Latin America follows the NFPA rules by the
Right.
book.
Yep.
And it has to be ULFM, which Viking provides everything from A to Z, from special hazards, plastic pipe, valves, pre-action, you name it, we have it.
And
And if we don't have it, we manufacture it.
that's right. So you guys don't have any different kind of listing requirements as far as like there's not a like a Mexican listing association or
No,
anything like
no,
that?
no, no.
Everything's UL.
There's local associations
Right.
that they belong to the NFPA and they share the rules.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. But it's very much on straight and point.
Awesome. Alejandro, thanks for talking today.
I hope to see you soon. Huh?
Absolutely. Hey, you fly me down anytime. Don't
I
threaten me
will.
with a good
Definitely, I
time.
will.
Sounds
Thank you.
good. Yeah. I'm here with Matt from Viking, and we're going to go through the online toolkit that's available at the Viking website. Matt, what do you think of the event so far?
Oh, it's been great. A lot of foot traffic, a lot of good folks around, so it's been really good.
Yeah, it's really good to get back. Like I've been saying to everybody, it's good to be back in person, shaking hands and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about yourself with Viking.
So I've only been with Viking since October of
Okay.
last year, so not too long, but I've been in the industry about 20 years.
Okay.
Started in the field hanging pipe as a fitter
Awesome.
Down in Texas, and
Okay.
then worked for a few manufacturers since then. So
Awesome. Fitter in a golf shirt like me.
absolutely.
Yeah, clean us up pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So what do we got here today?
So this is just the Viking Group Inc. website, so our traditional website. But what I like to look at here is our digital tool offering. So you see the tabs across the top: products, data, resources. Digital is the tool offering. So it kind of takes you to this screen. We've got stuff for Revit, if you are using Revit. And of course, all of our digital tools down here, such as our valve configurator.
Yep.
So this allows you to actually build out your valve, trim it out the way you want it, see it in 3D, and get the part number list to make sure you're getting what you're trying to get.
absolutely. Yeah.
So you got all your dry valve options, you got your deluge valve options, you got your pre-action valve options, as well as your wet valve options.
Right.
So just for a quick overview, I know our VXR is over on the floor over there. So it's our external reset dry valve offering.
That's the new dry valve.
It's the new
right?
dry valve, external reset, ductile iron body, so it's a lot lighter and
Yep.
smaller footprint overall. So here you can see it only comes groove. You can pick what size you want. It only comes with a galvanized steel trim and a vertical offering, so that's that. I would say most guys prefer pre-trimmed, to include their control valve and switches.
Yeah.
So that you'd select that option here, and then you can see you got your valve set up all in 3D. So you're able to kind of look at the valve, see how it's trimmed all in 3D. You can see your external reset knob here.
Yep.
And then you can also add on your add-on items such as an accelerator, or maybe you go with an air maintenance device.
Right.
So you can see as I did that, it threw it on there for me.
Right. Yeah. Pops up automatically.
Got an air maintenance device here. And then, sorry. And now you can see it's all, again, built out. You got your air maintenance device,
Right.
you got your accelerator there. So now that you know, hey, this is what I want,
Yep.
you can hit final summary, and it's actually going to give you a breakdown of the model, of the part number with the add-on part numbers. And now at this point, you can just email it to yourself if you want to just call in an order.
Yep.
You can also select your location, put in your information, hit submit, and send it right to our office.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah. What else you got on this website here? This is a really good tool for having a look and seeing what you're working on prior to ordering it. Things like that, right?
Absolutely. So the other one that I like to show is our dry sprinkler order form.
Right.
This one creates a lot of confusion, I would say, in the industry. Is
Where do you measure from?
Where do you measure from?
Yeah.
What type of escutcheon?
Yep.
There's a lot of confusion when someone says recess. Is it actually semi-recess, or is it more of a flush type?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we did is we actually created it all in picture-based view. So now you can see your escutcheon type. You can select it. It's going to take you to the next piece. You got sidewall, pendant. So you select, say, pendant here. What response? So quick or standard.
Yep.
So we go quick response. You got your different K-factor options. You
Yep.
got cut sheets if you're not 100% sure.
Right.
Then once you select, so we go with a 5.6K temperature, throw a 200 degree in there, pick my finish. Let's go chrome. I hit confirm. And now I can throw in my quantity here. I can throw in my dimensions. So say I want a 12 inch, you can see it already populated the part number, talking about where to measure from.
Absolutely.
We actually have a dimension help tab, which actually breaks that down and shows you determine the distance from the face of the T to the surface of the finished ceiling or the wall.
Absolutely. Now, is that standard across all manufacturers, or does everybody measure their dry pendants a little?
You know, you'd think it would be standard, but it's not. I've seen it. You know, different manufacturers do measure for different areas. So awesome.
Well, not awesome, but awesome. So that's the dry pendant. What else do you guys have on this website?
So the other big one that I wanted to show here is our sprinkler selector.
Right.
So this is great for designers, guys like that. And so what you'll notice is you got kind of your filter tab here. You got a general overview here based on what you're selected on down here.
Okay.
And so, you know, if you know the stuff you can add in to do it quickly, you could. So you could type in, say, the VK number to find it right here. You could also do an advanced search. If you're like, hey, I want something with vacuum system, I can do that, and it's going to filter out these to only heads that, you know, are approved with the VacTech system.
Absolutely.
Or say foam, you know, same thing with foam. You know, that's obviously a big thing in the market now, going to the fluorine-free stuff. So same thing, and find out what I got for foam heads. And then the other thing, if you're looking for more of a basic overview, you can start with, say, an occupancy type.
Yep.
And say, I want something, you know, ordinary hazard. And then you can go on down to the application type and say, I want it to be extended coverage.
Yep.
And then as you're doing it, it's kind of, again, filtering out below.
The list below.
Yep. And then once you find what you're looking for, you click on it. You got a general overview here. So you got your spacing, you got your pressures, you got all that information, you got some accessory options, tells you whether or not you can have a shield or a guard. And then you also have quick access to your data sheet, as well as the website, and as well as supplynet.com, which is our kind of online e-source offering.
Right, yep.
So, you know, you could set up an account in there. You have access to your price list. If you're a contractor, you can throw this right into your shopping cart and order it.
Ship it, get it shipped right away.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Matt. This is a cool product, man.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Thank you.